All right, Bengals and the Falcons tie. They tie in the opening preseason game, or second preseason game, I should say, of the season. We'll talk about the quarterback 2 battle. We'll talk about the RB2 battle, some wide receivers who flashed impressed in this football game. The Bengals were not great. They did take the lead late after an early interception. They're down by 3. They retake the lead with all of, how much time was left there? 50 seconds to go in the football game. They score. Chase Brown caps off a nice redemption drive out of Jake Browning. And then, the Falcons quickly march down the field and kick a field goal to tie the damn thing. Some post-game reaction coming up here, but we will have Bengals winners and losers for you guys tomorrow. Some more in-depthness on players who impressed me and some of those who did not impress me in this particular matchup. So make sure you guys are subscribed at youtube.com/BengalsTV. All right, some stats out of this game. The Falcons moved the football better. They had over 100 more total yards, but they had basically a red zone, end zone interception. They had a ton of penalties. They had 13 penalties for 102 yards, which was a back-breaking performance. In the end, it still should have been a Bengals win. They had the chance. They had a lead with 50 seconds left to play. Woodside for 19 to Xavier Malone, to Fitzpatrick for 25, a false start. Washington to 9, and then they kick a 45-yard field goal with 2 seconds left. They say there was a Chase Brown return, by the way. The score sheet was not shown live. So I assume it did happen, but we did not get to see it from that perspective. So grade the Bengals in their preseason game against the Atlanta Falcons. A, B, C, D, or F. This will be today's pinned comments. So if the ad happens to come here on YouTube, you know what, folks? That is okay. Take advantage of it. Instead, head down to that pinned comment and comment A, B, C, D, or F. Yeah, I'm kind of somewhere in that C-ish range. We'll talk about some of my key takeaways, some things that impressed me in this game here momentarily, but it is today's pinned comment. So take advantage of it. Head down there and go vote. A, B, C, D, or F. All right, some takeaways from this game. Number 1, how about thoughts on this quarterback battle? Trevor Siemian, I'll double check my notes here, make sure I'm getting my facts right. Siemian started the game 4-4. Good start for the starter in tonight's game. And then finished the game 7 of 14 for 62 yards. He completed 3 more passes in the entirety of that game. He had nothing going, really, after that first solid start. And then the accuracy, decision-making really waned there. Finished 7 of 14, so you can do the math there, folks. It was 3 of 10 in the back half of that game. That is not going to get it done. Meanwhile, Jake Browning actually fared very well. Now, he was up and down, don't get me wrong. Finished the game 16 of 22, 140 yards, a game high. Let me double check here, make sure my facts are straight again. 50 yards, team high, 50 yards on the ground. And after it was a bad INT, he did redeem himself and get that go-ahead drive. He looked really efficient with a lot of backup receivers out there. I mean, they was throwing passes to, Matt Kippenhammer, who's not going to make this team, and Malachi Carter, who's not going to make this football team. So I was impressed by Jake Browning down the stretch. Still inconsistent. I don't know if I fully trust this backup quarterback spot yet, but I would give the edge to Jake Browning. So who do you think is quarterback 2? JB for Jake Browning, TS for Trevor Siemian. Go vote in the comment section. Takeaway number 2. I thought Joseph Ossai was maybe the best player on the field tonight. At least the biggest splash plays in the end. Now, won't show up in the stat sheet necessarily. He was credited with 1 tackle. That was it. An INT. They took away his sack. He had a pressure and then blew up a play that led to a Jalen Davis sack. So if you're only box score scouting, INT is the only thing that'll flash for you. I thought Ossai played awesome tonight. I think he's edge 3 right now, especially with Myles Murphy not playing tonight. Our goal is 4,000 subscribers. If you haven't already, hit that sub button right now. YouTube.com/Bengals TV. Free videos for you all throughout the season right here on Bengals Breakdown. All right, takeaway number 3. I thought for the most part, until that final drive, of course, the whole defense played well. There were some nice splash plays from Joe Bacci. I thought Raymond Jones and Dominique Davis were again disruptive. Jeff Gunter showed some promise. Jalen Davis had the sack. Owen Carney had a great sack. So the back-end defense, Daxton Hill made a few nice plays in run support. I thought the defense as a unit played well. In general, if you allow 13 points, you should win the football game. The offense scored their first touchdown drive all preseason on their final one, to wrap up the game. This is their 22nd drive, I think it was, somewhere in that range. So nice to happen finally. The defense overall played well, but that bad taste in your mouth from that final drive certainly shall remain there. All right, let's talk about the running back 2 battle. Chase Brown did get the go-ahead score briefly, and then it was negated by the touchdown, of the field goal, of course, by Younghoe Koo. But I think this is still not settled. The Bengals, I should say, have not run the football particularly well as of late in the preseason. They have not had much success. I think part of this is trying to test the guys. Chris Evans had 7 carries, 15 yards, nothing longer than 5. I thought it had a couple decent blitz pickups from what I could watch live. Did catch 2 passes for 20 yards. Certainly valuable. But overall, kind of a whelming effort from Evans. Chase Brown had a nice 10-yard carry. That was the longest of the day outside of the quarterback for the Bengals and Browning. But 9 carries, 18 yards, 1 touchdown. The touchdown was nice, but neither guy was really going. Part of that certainly was the offensive line. And outside of Jonah Williams, we did not see any starter on offense for Cincinnati. But the guards, I think, have been kind of middling. They're all backups out there. The Falcons are playing some of their starters up front, at least their key rotation guys. So I get that, but neither guy has said, I am the backup quite yet, even despite Trevion Williams being banged up. So pick an RB2 for me. TW for Trevion Williams, CE for Chris Evans, or CB for Chase Brown. Pick your backup running back if you can in the comments section right now. Some thoughts on some of the wide receivers. We'll go more in depth on this during our winners and losers cut available for you guys tomorrow afternoon-ish. Andre Yoshivas, my boy Yoshi, led all players in targets, catches, and yards. 10 for 55 and 44, despite not the most accurate throws his way. I was very impressed, too, by Shed Jackson, the Auburn wide receiver, the nephew of Bo Jackson, by the way. 4 catches, 42 yards. Also had let me double check my notes here, 30-yard or 20. Drew a 30-yard defensive pass interference, the hidden stats, if you will. A 26-yarder he had was called back there as well. A 15-yard penalty, too, negated a Charlie Jones catch. He was 4 of 36. So I think Shed Jackson will be a practice squatter. Jones and Yoshivas will make this team, by the way. But we'll go more into that stuff tomorrow for winners and losers. Hope you guys enjoyed today's show and hope you enjoyed the watch party, those of you who tuned in.